Osiris.
Yeah, we logged on the earliest we ever have, and even Joey included, and we cannot start on time.
It was a strong start. I know we were here. Yeah, we were all here. I swear. 6:40.
All right, let's see. Here's this post that I got to share. And oh, Goose.
Man, so we beat the clock internally to all be on camera, but still 2 minutes late to broadcast. So it goes.
No, that's fine. Nobody's watching yet either. Anyway.
Right.
We're going to share.
The nighttime edition means it just happens at night.
Yeah. Knowing our audience, they're on their way.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thought that started at 7:12. Yeah. Well.
So are we live right now?
We are live.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're here.
All right.
We're here. Awesome. So, hey, everyone. Welcome.
Great start.
Welcome to another edition of Goose Day Tuesday, specifically a nighttime edition. Hey, Kathy.
We got somebody?
Yeah, we've got a few people. Great to hear everyone. For the first time, you may or may not hear this non-Goose podcast.
A lot of animals to talk about.
I mean, yeah. So what nights did you guys go to?
To the Garden for 3 nights. I went Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Joey, you soldiered through all of them, right?
I mean, that's one word for it, but yeah, I made it.
Well, you're young. You could do that stuff, you know.
Yeah, relatively.
Yeah. I mean, I'm standing up tonight because of back pain. So thank God for standing desks. Also, Thank God for Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah, man.
A drip feel to that shit and just smoked some of it, and God help. I hope it helps because I need it today.
Specifically the sour Hawaiian haze. Great little sativa.
If everybody that listened to this didn't get enough ads as it is, we're going to give you more on the show. But anyway, Sunset Lake rocks. Yeah,
it'll get you through 4 nights of Phish in your latter years.
In your waning years.
No, for me, as it was, I only went to one, but it was a good one. And big shout out to Jamie Hunefeld, who took pictures night 1 officially. She also took some other pictures throughout the
great shots, Jamie.
Yeah, and she takes pictures for Goose all of the time. Of Biscuits, a lot of other bands. So shout out to her. She hooked me up with the ticket for Friday night, and I probably would have only been able to go to one night anyway, and I probably would have picked Saturday. And Saturday was a good night too. It looked like a great night, but Friday was, I feel like for me, as good as I can expect to hear them play these days. A few flubs, but smooth jamming, good jams, interesting jams, not boring or just spacey the whole time. And for the 3-set show, and of course the gag was great, but we'll talk about that more when we get there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, it was a great few nights of music. Really one of those weekends where, I was so impressed with Thursday. And you never know exactly how the big New Year's shows are going to go. You never really know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more spectacle than music in a certain sense, but
right. That's a good way of putting it.
Like to have that experience on Friday and then come back on Saturday for another great night of music was awesome. And
so Mick Mac, I agree in a lot of ways. I've seen 104 was Friday for me, and it's the only band I've ever counted.
We don't endorse this.
But we don't endorse it officially.
Do not endorse it.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we love you, Tom. We love Phish, but I mean, I do, I think just people should, my point usually is that people should be a little bit more realistic with themselves on these days. And if you love what they're doing,
that is just days, you. Yep.
Yeah. And me, sort of.
Yeah, sometimes.
But if you love what they're doing these days, fine, more power to you. But, I just think some people are exaggerate what these guys are able to do sometimes and kind of jump on people if they do find it a little bit more boring or a little bit not to their liking these days, as if you should be excommunicated from the scene. So
sounds like
some of that,
sounds like another band. Sounds like
another band. Well, yeah. You mean Mo?
Man, what is this? What is this? A theme? Yeah.
It's like the Spider-Man meme where everybody's pointing at each other.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Can someone make that? Can somebody?
But to be honest, I'm always honest about this stuff with myself and with my friends who think I just hate on them constantly because I try to defend, some people sometimes online. But I'm honest when they play well. And Friday was an excellent show. And I think, I'm sure I wasn't able to listen. I'm not getting free streams from Phish, the bastards. So I didn't listen to Saturday. I was also just destroyed on Saturday, so I didn't bother. But, I would have liked to hear it. I listened to the Pusha T album instead today. But it looked like a great show too. So I think, they played, I think, really as well as you could have expected. And anytime they come out, I didn't hear Wednesday, but a lot of people were kind of shitting on Wednesday, or you can just tell from the vibe online.
Yes.
And how people are talking about
correct terminology. Yeah.
And usually it's like, what do you expect? Almost whenever they're even playing well or they're crushing some tours, usually the tour opener is always a little weak. So I expected that. It's been a number of months since they played together. And then they really progressively got better over the course of the weekend. And that's great to see.
Yeah. And I think it is a consistent trend that a tour opener or, an oddly timed run, just the end of April, an oddly timed run, the first show, it's inevitable. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I definitely felt that show. There were some flubs that worried me. So I'm like, oh no, is Phish kind of falling off a little bit? But by that Gumbo Slave encore, I was like, oh no, this is they brought it together, and I was so excited for night two. Night two was top to bottom, just
And Gumbo Slave, and I love Gumbo. I've always loved Gumbo a lot.
Yeah,
and, Slave, you can never go wrong. Shout out to our buddy Reed. So it's and
absolutely.
I wish I did listen to that, but that's the thing. They just put together some shows that looked good this whole week. And it's kind of nice to see. A lot of people were really all about Fall Tour. And I really didn't listen to any of Fall Tour. I listened to some of the Summer Tour last year and the early shows, and I thought they were awful. And I went to AC, and they kind of, they butchered some stuff at AC as well. But then the Sunday show at AC was a legitimately good show. I really liked it.
Great show.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's it's a little bit more quality over quantity, trying to find the right shows or the right runs to hit for Phish these days, And one thing I will say is, it's tough when face value tickets for MSG, and it is MSG, but $120 a ticket, maybe $100 for the Chase Bridge or the 400s or whatever, but it's an expensive ticket, So it's you don't want to run into a show where Trey's butchering Mango Song or Maze, So it's it's one of those things, but you just got to pick and choose your battles.
Dude, we're gonna get fired from Osiris.
No,
sorry, you know what? We're gonna be real on the Great Beyond.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I think that also that I think that we spend way too much time. Ask any of my loved ones; they'll tell you I spend way too much time online drawing parallels between certain bands. There must be more out there, and I think that one thing about this weekend that really. I really wanted to approach it as let me not arm myself with ammo that will serve me well for the next 6 months on Twitter on that daily uphill climb. More so what can I identify in how this music has grown, and I think that whether or not Phish performs certain songs the way they did 30 years ago, which obviously they may not, it was certainly a masterclass in patience and how jams are built and how they can breathe, and how these four guys really move as a unit. and do it really well.
Yeah, that's what I felt at Deer Creek. I was like, they can like just go into a space, not know where it's going better than anybody, I think. And like there were so many times during that 4-night run, that like I completely forgot I was at a show. And those are like those moments that really catch me until like, you know, they double time the beat or they switch keys or like they all of a sudden come back in the song. I'm like, you know, where was I for the past, it feels like 30 minutes, but it was probably like 2.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I love those moments in any shows when bands are hitting like that. But Phish does do it a lot, you know. And yes, Donda, I will go listen to maybe Some Fall at some point if somebody can give me some rip tracks, or you know, Osiris can maybe hook me up with some MP3s. Anyway, you know, Alabama Night 2, best show 2022. Okay, you know. Yeah, Biscuits would say otherwise. Yeah, Deer Creek was awesome. I didn't know you went to Deer Creek, Joey. But yeah, Movies Unit, and Leon mentioned it too. That is why I think partly, you know, I streamed Thursday, and Thursday was really solid. If you just looked at the set list, you know, people are, you know, The Man Who Stepped in Yesterday, Avino Marcano, what else? They play Esther,
Susie opener.
Susie opener, a very cool second set as well. And so. But listening to them play, I mean, there was just a lot of stuff that they were tripping over, and you could hear it so well. I think partly because of how well those guys play as a unit. So when it's not smooth, you know, it's kind of, and if you listen to it enough, it's kind of noticeable, you know. But in streaming it at home, it was something I could much more easily hone in on too. In that sense. And when you're at the show and you're just letting loose and you're not really looking for that stuff, it's a bit of a different listening experience. And of course, at a show like that, I would have been quite happy. You're just getting some very cool songs that they don't play often. And even if they're tripping over them a little bit, they don't play them often. They trip over them anyway a lot because of that, you know. And it's and they pulled out some good jams in the second set. I thought the Tweezer kind of didn't get as much, notice online as I thought at that night. You know, I really thought the first set was lacking a little bit, and they came out with the jams the second set. And I thought the Tweezer was the musical highlight of that, and sounded really good. So that was getting me a little bit excited about going Friday. You know, I was like, I got to listen to some Phish before the show and get back into it. I never listened to them outside of, you know, at least the last few years outside of shows. I never really listened to them. Unless it's some old stuff, but I'm not necessarily trying to keep up with the new stuff. I have to listen to these Goose shows for this podcast, which is painful. No, I love that. I love Goose, you know, but it's just, you know, there's only so much time, and try to listen to a lot of stuff. So, you know, it's hard to always go back to that to listen to Phish. So I did want to get back into it, and it definitely set me up for a very good Friday night.
Yeah, I think I totally agree in that sense of, my tastes do change frequently, and I have found myself really listening to Phish mostly at Phish shows recently. But then like having a weekend like this and being like, damn, all right, now I'm gonna really dive back into this really deep for a while.
It's interesting too. Speaking of diving deep, I just want to mention Drew's comment about Melt Nice being practically probably the most on point Trey he's heard in years. That me and Jacko were watching, and to me and my friend Jacko were watching the shows at AC, and we're hurt by Split Open and Melt. It's one of my favorite Phish songs, or when people say what's your favorite, I usually point to that. Love that song. Back in the day, when Trey used to really melt minds, shredding through a lot of the crazy parts of Sohm, and then now they're always spacey, and AC was so aimlessly spacey. We were both disappointed. This one, and on Friday, was spacey, but in a really good way. Like I mentioned, interesting jams and not boring. You know, it wasn't boring. Like AC felt boring, and it's like Sohm's not a boring song. That's like a prog rock masterpiece that I love, just like Bowie. And of course, like you said, Greg, Trey's not going to play like it did 30 years ago or 96 or whatever. But it's like, you know, they could still do sometimes some more interesting stuff with these songs. Lots of spacey jams all the time, long and spacey. You know, and that's on purpose. But I also do agree that Melt ended up being really good. And I love It's Ice. And I was kind of really shocked to hear that as the encore. Yeah. I think a bunch of people were. But and It's Ice was solid too. And I always love, there's some songs that I just always love to hear. And I don't really care how he plays them.
Yeah.
You know?
But also like, there were some moments on Thursday where I was like, okay, the big dog still eats a little bit here and there.
Big dog gotta eat.
Yeah, like come on. I mean, like character 0, Tweezer character 0, that segue back into character. That I was like,
that was
I
really
was feeling it. The 2001 that hit like in a lot of the right places.
Yeah, I saw you, and Greg made a post on our Facebook group, our old Team Blah's Facebook group. Pants off, dance off.
Yep.
Shout out to Ian, rest in peace. So yeah, but yeah, and that was when I started to get a little annoyed that I missed Thursday. So I was thinking about going Thursday. Jacko offered me a ticket that our buddy Quinn from Mighty Quinn Media took. But I was okay with it. Again, it's just it just wasn't in the cards for me to go to more than one really this weekend. So I was really happy with the one I got. Very happy. When you pick one, especially.
Mm-hmm. Greg, you were talking about changing tastes over the years. I don't know, man. I'm starting to fall out of love with Goose and fall in love with that late night set we saw Saturday. I was screaming in people's faces, but this is my favorite band, like to the point where it's not good.
Somebody's saying, Goose got somebody, chomping on their heels, literally and figuratively,
The youth, they're fickle these days.
Talking about dogs.
Dogs in a pile.
There might be little dogs right now, but
hey,
the puppies in a pile.
There's actually some little dogs barking outside on my shared patio right now.
We went to see Dogs in a Pile after
4 nights of Phish.
After 4 nights of Phish. Nice and reasonable
Greg's doing here.
Hill Country Barbecue. So excellent Saturday night show. High energy. They didn't take a set break, did they? They didn't even do an encore. They just did one long set. A long ass set. It was popping in there.
Yeah, it was way later than I thought. So when I got home, it was
I mean, it was high energy too. There were people. There's a line up the street. People sneaking in past the door to a point where
love that.
I offered help. I wouldn't have been helpful at all. But
I could stamp people's hands.
That's right. I know this guy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't? Tell me why. It's a good enough story. I'll let you go through. Yeah.
I would just be taking $3 to $5 from people and be like, "Let's go."
So, like people who don't know Dogs in a Pile, like they have a trilogy of Spun, Tilly, Trunk Rum, and they like sandwich that in between this massive Charlie. Which, like, if you don't know these songs, I just go on Nugs, listen to all of them. They're such good songs, but like, that's what I was.
I don't know these songs. I don't know this.
That's what dude. People got to learn, man. They're gonna take over Peach. You watch.
Dude,
I was so surprised at how. Yeah, go ahead.
Go. Oh, so you see, Joey's not used to these live streams where we just talk over each other, but really, it's just me talking over you two. But no, Dogs in a Pile was sick. All I was going to mention was that when we went to the Garcias to check them out last year, man, they ripped. Really like that energy. And Greg was telling me about the late night set the other day, but yeah, that energy, man, that they have is really off the charts. And like, what's great to see in a young band, those kids are very young too, so they got a long way to go.
Yeah. I mean, they I think they've come a long way even since I heard them for the first time last summer. And
oh yeah,
I don't know the catalog. I don't have like Joey quite yet. But really solid jams and really good energy. And frankly, it's just nice to see like a cool scene building around a young band, and like
for sure,
at this point, even you think about the guys in Goose, most of them are 30 or about to turn the corner, in the next couple of years. And, the drummer and
practically cripples too. They're all crippled.
Imagine when they're our age.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
So, but you think about the drummer in Dogs in a Pile is 20 years old. Like that's a whole new generation.
Nah.
Kid
be taking HGH too. He's got testosterone running through his body. You can definitely take an HGH. eating
young Ben Atkins.
10 eggs, eating 8 to 12 eggs a day.
Yep.
But the kid can drum though. He's a good drummer. You know, he's
a great drummer.
Oh, that really kid, good drummer. The keyboard player, I love. I think
Jeremy,
phenomenal.
Jeremy's a wizard, dude.
Incredible. Yep, he's incredible.
And he's fun to watch. You know, those kids have good energy on stage. I love my man Jim Morrison, who plays rhythm for them. Who I do want to hear shred sometime.
Brian rips.
Brian's fake Jeremy from Pigeons, dude. That's
Jeremy's
little brother.
Yeah, see, Greg doesn't know the names of these kids.
Bro,
you know the catalog.
I'm in the dog pound, dog. A dog is a dog for life. You know, Dark Man X.
My dog's bite. Yeah.
With the dog. Yeah.
I was listening to Christian T today, dude. I'm ready for the rap
since 97. I've been doing this since 97, dog.
It's dark and hell is hot in the great beyond.
The first Dogs in a Pile album is the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Please. I hope so. I will get every vinyl that they print.
Yeah.
But, you know, funny story about merch with Dogs in a Pile, too. Like, so when Goose merch popped, like in 2019, 2020, I had a bunch of friends, you know, selling their merch, sellouts. And they actually had asked Trevor, you know, Trevor, what do you think, like, as far as, you know, next band to, like, pick up, you know, merch, like, early, just like with the Goose scene, when I was selling their fucking merch and not even taking it, just should have taken them off the table, all these pins, but I didn't because I'm an idiot and I often paid for stuff
too, man.
So it's so dumb. But they asked him, who do you think would be the next band that, like, we should scoop up their merch? And he said way back, Dogs in a Pile. And you know, that was kind of what put them on my radar. And that was still, they had that Madhavan cover out then that I know made its way into El Goose, and I listened to that and it sounded pretty good. Obviously when we heard them do it at Garcia's, it was even better. And it's different, you know, because they shred, you know.
They had that Character Zero like tease at the end too, which was awesome.
Yeah, gotta love teasing Phish. Yeah, this is a Phish.
Tease the goats.
That's why I got tie dye on. You know, like any one of the old 24,000-year-old men that are wearing glasses and bobbing the blaze on. You know, at least I missed that. I was happy about missing that. But anyway,
got my dead sandals at Kohl's. I'm ready to rock.
Got your night shades on. Anyway.
Let's get
What do we
into it?
Yeah.
So notes.
I thought we Bruce, I thought we were going to talk about the shows upcoming this weekend because I thought you were going to at least one.
I've been drinking. So yeah, we were going to.
Okay.
No, I thought he was going somewhere else.
Noted.
So, yeah. I thought he was talking about my mental capacity right now, but no, yeah, I can't. Yeah, unfortunately, I had to make the ultimate decision a couple weeks ago to skip these shows at the end of the month. I have a new nephew as of January, so I'm going to go visit him and my niece as well down in Florida, and you know, my whole family's going to be down there. My sister, brother-in-law, my parents. So I'm going to go down there instead. I mean, flights are crazy right now, and that's the thing. Like, this is kind of like last year, where soon as May hit in 2021, shows were popping off. Everybody was like releasing these extensive tour, you know, pretty extensive for right after the first part of the pandemic. And it was like everybody was scooping up tickets like crazy for everything. You know, I'm trying to make plans to go to everything. And it just has now gotten that much more expensive, but the same kind of thing is happening. You know, after the last few months, it's just been a flood of show announcements and a lot of cool looking stuff, great festival lineups all over the country. And it's just like, man, it's just trying to negotiate all these trips and figure them out and plan for them. It's hard for everybody, not just me. So it's like, it's, you know, it's just been one of those things. And I do have to see my family occasionally. I know my mom tries to power through these episodes of the podcast, so I appreciate that. You know, we need the ad money, and I need CBD really bad all the time. So I do appreciate that, and all of you in the comments as well. You know, for listening. But yeah, so that's just why I had to kind of change plans. But looking forward to seeing some of the side project shows in May that are a little bit easier for me to hit, and then of course the Westville shows on Memorial Day weekend. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah. This weekend's a big weekend. They got 4 shows in a row. What is it? Charleston. What's the second one?
Charleston. Yeah, no, it's fine. We don't prepare for these. Charleston, Asheville next. It's kind of hard. The back to back to back to back. Ah, Kieran, I saw you also, but yeah, it's Charleston, Asheville,
Atlanta.
Then they're going to be playing at Sweetwater. Yep, and then they're going to be playing at the festival in Memphis, Beale Street or something like that. And anyway, but that's going to be a tough weekend. I think they're going to be putting up some good shows, though. Sweetwater is going to be a sick festival set, no doubt about it.
Yeah, wish you guys could make it.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be fun though. Me and my boy Miles.
Go
ahead. Yeah, I want to give a birthday shout out to our boy Miles, but that's fine. No, fuck him.
No, Joey, you got to see this you got to just squeeze your way in. It's these guys we're not used to having you here.
No, it's the nighttime edition. Greg goes first.
This is definitely the nighttime edition.
Hey, Miles. Well, I'm bummed to not be able to make it to Sweetwater. I think it's going to be pretty incredible. I don't know. There's been all this murmuring. We'll try to sit in. It's that. I don't know.
Murmuring.
I think like they're on different stages consecutively, right? Doesn't that seem difficult?
Yeah. If anything, like Tab would have one of them, so it would be way easier logistically, I think, unless Trey set in like in the beginning. But even that, like, I don't know, man.
I doubt. So I definitely do not think that Tab at any at this point now, without having any connection to these guys or anything, like no one is going to sit in with Tab. Like, I think just the way that they prepare, Trey's professionalism as well as the rest of those musicians in that band, man, they're not just going to be like somebody could just slide in and play with them in a set in a simple song. They're not going to just sell out and play a simple song. I mean, Rick could get on Came in Review and crush it, anything big, but like it's just, it's like they're not. I think it would be much more likely, and I read this online too, and I agreed with these people that Trey would sit in with them maybe, but like Greg said, it just doesn't seem like a logistically tenable situation for that to happen.
Right.
Yeah. You never know.
I hope we're wrong.
On the scale of logistical tenability of a sit-in, Peach seems to, really like. So
it's more like it's like the Kelvin scale.
I'm going to be battling some brain fog currently because let's just there were
you got work flu at Phish?
There were particles dancing in the air.
Yeah, dude, everyone I know.
I mean, that's one. I guess I'm a little thankful that I only went one night and really tried to stay away from people for the most part. So, and I was in a spot where like I kind of was section 104, where we're right against like this booth on the left, and I was basically in the stairs the whole time, which the usher may or may not have loved, but. That was a good spot, in hindsight. It was a really good spot. I mean, it was a good spot anyway. Any of those section 100, that's like around that horseshoe from side stage across. Same with 200s up to row 15. Those are good spots in MSG. If you can get your hands on any of those. 200s are much more, usually affordable and chiller sections too, usually. But yeah, any of those spots are great, man, especially for the gag they did this year. There's a lot of great viewing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was in 107 on Thursday night, which was awesome. But even you're right about the front of the 200s, just about ahead of the Chase Bridges, and even on
just ahead of the bridge. Yep,
the Chase Bridges are pretty lit too.
Yeah, they are. I usually don't want to stand looking down like that. Like people love it. I've been up there once. But like, it's just not my thing, but like, I don't know, spoiled, dude. It's nice to be able to have a lot of friends that go to these shows and always people that have extras and people you can slide in with, it's definitely hugely advantageous. So, that's always been pretty lucky, MSG can be a little bit of a pain. Like sometimes, most Phish shows, dude, people understand, like, you get some room, it's a room, like everybody's used to moving around. MSG is the only place where you're going to have people, in like Armani suit jackets and like,
right.
I'm in like row 12 seat, like A3. And it's like, yo, dude, so am I. And like, so are 12 other people I brought up here. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but basically, I need to have a seat though. I'm not a floor guy ever.
No.
I've never really have been, Yeah,
no, unless it's on an incline like a cat.
Right.
Yeah. Joe, you're floor. Well, Joe, you're a floor guy for other bands.
If I'm gonna be on the floor, I'm gonna be on the rail because like I'm short and I hate people standing in front of me. But like places like the Cap where like there's that incline as you go back, like that, no matter where you're on the floor, like you could see very well. My spot is usually like right in front of the soundboard. Hang my jacket up on that back rail, but dude, the Fillmore in Philly was like it was miserable for me.
Really,
like it was just like getting more and more crowded and like people getting pushed back. But like if you're up far enough, you have that room because it's just a bunch of people dancing as hard as they can. But like those people who try and filter in last minute and like get up to the front, then like push you back and make you more crowded. Like I don't know, man. The Phish floor seemed to be very, like kind of standard rows. People seem to have room. They didn't oversell it, so looks cool.
Joey would rather like lie down on the floor than hang out with the geriatrics in the balcony, you and me.
Oh, yeah. Joey doesn't hang out with us, by the way. To all the fans in the chat, and you can comment on this. I would comment on this.
Feel free to let him know.
I'm commenting on it right now. But yeah, Joey hates us. And there's reasons for that. Like, there's obvious reasons for that. I don't even like myself, so I get it. But like, Joey doesn't like us, and I don't get it. And I see Kieran. I know Kieran commented before. I see him after the Phish show. I said, "Where's Joey Parisi?" And he left him as well. He left another one. So I don't know.
Dude, that kid was up in like kid was in like row 24 of the 200s. I couldn't wait for him, dude. I was in row 2. I got to get out of there. I got to beat the traffic.
I love getting down those stairs after MSG shows, though. It's so funny and miserable.
How about the construction labyrinth outside of MSG?
Oh, dude, that scaffolding was like, when
I got there on Friday, I was like, what the fuck is this? After a almost 2.5 hour ride in when I was still leaving early, and I was like, oh, now I can't even get an MSG.
Were you guys going? You went in on the 7th Avenue entrance?
Yeah, I went into
the main entrance.
Yep.
How was that? I went on 8th Avenue every night. I wasn't sure.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
you have to walk through a maze of scaffolding.
Yeah,
and I remember after Thursday, like I kind of like I don't know. I took it easier than a lot of people did around me. But to walk out like with people with jackhammers, like an active construction zone, it was like very strange and off-putting.
Yeah. I actually wasn't put off by it. I love the griminess myself after the show.
The rolling sound of a jackhammer, pulsating with love and light on the New York streets.
Yeah.
And balloons.
With love and light and like shards of like asphalt flying in your face, which is great. Shout out to Scott Stevenson. Scott, tell Amy I said what's up, and thank Amy for all of the stuff so she's donating to the show for us to give away, which I will mention quickly. We got this sick drawstring bag from Circus of Light, and we've got this very cool Great Beyond jar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's badass. This is Greg's. I'm giving it away. No, we got the other one. But yeah, just shout out to all the people who support the podcast and especially these giveaways because we're trying to bribe people to listen. So thank you very much.
You want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do it now? You got a trivia question?
I have a trivia question. I sure do have a trivia question.
Trivia questions are gold. No, wait, just wait.
I planned it, but I mean, I don't know if like the people may need a hint. We'll see. But based on...
make it hard.
I feel like Greg...
All right, cool.
I feel like Greg spots one person in the chat is like, this person will know the answer.
Oh, no, definitely not. In fact, I make sure that no one will know. Okay. This was we'll do the jar.
was a
How
Phish
about that,
strain.
Bruce? We'll do the jar.
Yeah.
The Varvel Arts
It's
jar.
one giveaway. It's one giveaway.
It's one. It's a gift pack.
Yeah, dude, we're really trying to bribe the shit out of our listeners. You know, like you're gonna get some good shit.
So the gift pack, the extravaganza. Should we hold off? You know, everyone's gonna leave once we give.
No, let's make it hard. They can listen.
What else do we have to talk about?
Ramble while they look for stuff. You know, look for information on the
Peter's first Phish show.
Oh,
Friday.
Good guess, Joey.
You're not eligible for victory, Joey.
Yeah, calling
you're not eligible.
Peter noob is fun.
Dude, that was my inner Bruce coming out.
Yeah, I like that. Did we eat some Yanni shrooms Rick and Pete had? Dude, you think Rick and Peter eat like regular mushrooms picked from the ground? That's hilarious, mushroom. Dude. They're well beyond that. Honestly, neither of them ever need to get psychedelic ever. They're just blazed enough as it is, to be honest. No, I love them both, though.
Yeah. Dude, it seemed like everyone I knew ran into you guys, ran into the band. I didn't see you guys at all. I saw Greg briefly at Set Break.
Yeah. Do
you remember that?
We were in the same section.
Yeah.
I wasn't floating. I wasn't floating too much on Friday. It's like I kind of, especially with Phish, especially with MSG. As I've gotten a little bit older, it's just like it's almost the same with Guru shows. It's like sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, and it's like I just want to find my friends, find our spot. And basically we had such a good spot, we had such a good group with us that I basically just chilled there. Had a great kid serving me the most expensive Miller Lights I've ever bought in my entire fucking life. But right outside was mad easy with a bathroom right there. I mean, that was a really great section. But yeah, so I kind of just post up and stick to that spot. And then once it's over, I just try to hustle the hell out of there,
Was that
it could be such a shit show.
That was a great train sound effect.
Yeah, was that a choo-choo train?
So before the dogs were barking. The train. Because I just have lived by a train my entire godforsaken life.
Could have placed that better.
In Wilton, we literally had the train running right along our driveway and in this old ass house. So I got used to listening to the trains. Now I'm in a condo that's up a hill from a train station, and I still get to hear the beautiful sounds of locomotives. I don't know if any of you have seen this train guy who's been memed online. He's like a British kid. Oh my God, that shit is hilarious. Good. You got to check that out. Can't remember the name, but if you haven't seen those videos, it's good to waste time on. He's hysterical.
We have a winner. Can we get the train sound again? We've got a winner. Michael Hartford 09. Peter's first Phish show, 8/14/2009 at the Comcast Theater in Hartford, Connecticut, formerly known as the Meadows Music Center, where I've seen many a Dave Matthews show.
Damn, funny thing about Hartford 09.
Riot in 03, man. We need a Dave, dude. Man.
Under the table and dreaming, baby.
Let me see Carter tonight, dude.
Was Hartford 09? That was also Peter's 9th birthday, or right around
Yeah, that was a great show. Punch opener, AC/DC bag. Love it.
Right on.
NSU, Forbin's Mockingbird, Birds of a Feather, Lawn Boy Stash. I didn't know, middle of the road character 0, and that's just first set. Set 2, Down with Disease, Wilson, Slave, Piper, Into Water in the Sky, Ghost, Psycho Killer, Catapult, Iculus, You Enjoy Myself. Encore, While My Guitar. First Iculus in 193 shows, last performed July 18th, 1999.
Yeah, Greg, how do you know all this?
Oh, somebody's got Phish.net up.
I've got the internet. Yeah, but that was cool. That was a really cool that was a cool show. I'm a 3.0 noob, so hit it pretty hard that summer.
So am I, though. But even later, though.
Pretended like I knew that Iculus was significant. Yeah, man.
It took me as an Umphrey fan a long time to come around to Phish. Yeah. Even though I've been hearing them since high school, but Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Although I was at the show, I hadn't fully read the book. Michael, congratulations, though. You win the Great Beyond gift bag extravaganza.
Michael, make sure to hit me up on Facebook for that stuff.
Yeah, and whoever won the last live show, hit Bruce up.
I could listen to the episode, but it would also be easy. I don't want it, so it'd be easy if you hit me up about that. Somebody won this badass Yeti. It's called Trevetti in Denver, and it's an image of Trevor as a Yeti, and it's actually pretty badass. It's on this laminated piece of wood. Really cool. But somebody won it.
Oh, Robert Madrano. Yeah.
Oh, was it you, Robert? Yo, Robert, hit me. Yo, hit me up, Robert.
Robert.
And I will send that to you.
Robert Madrano, the god.
Robert's the man. Yeah, dude. I hope they play some more shows in Texas. I gotta come back out there. That was a blast.
We don't even need shows. We'll just go hang out with Robert.
Yeah, seriously. Austin is one of my favorite cities, and I'm just down to go back, dude. I got to go back to a Buc-ee's ASAP.
Dude.
Yo, Buc-ee's, man.
Buc-ee's, hit us up for a sponsorship, dude.
Come on. What do we need to do?
Are we lying? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh,
no.
They need to.
No.
We're lying.
Let me get a brisket sandwich. Send me a brisket sandwich. Don't even put it on ice. Just send it. I don't care how long it takes.
I think we talked about it in a past episode, but if people don't know, Buc-ee's is like
Bruce, you have the Buc-ee's lid? You got the lid?
Yeah, you got that hat, right?
Hat. Yeah, it's bad fucking ass.
I haven't seen you wear that at a show yet.
No, because it doesn't match a lot of my clothes. So like I gotta buy clothes specifically to wear the Buc-ee's hat, you know?
Why'd you get the camo one, man? So did we talk about my internet froze for a second, but
it's been freezing.
Yeah.
It's been wilding.
It's got COVID too. So did we talk about the shows this weekend? The Goose shows?
Yeah.
I think we did. We didn't much because, it's whatever. But yeah, no, we did talk. So we mentioned that they're going to play.
It's whatever. We'll talk.
We mentioned they're going to play Charleston. So Charleston, they're at a distillery, but it's like the back.
Firefly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Firefly, and there's like a big lawn. So there's still tickets available for that. People are already down in Charleston. It's a beautiful city. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we're talking about Goose now. We've moved on.
Thanks for sticking with us.
But in Charleston, last time they played in Charleston, it was a blast, an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And I just need them to play more than one night in Charleston because Charleston is such a fun city to hang out in.
Oh yeah,
great food, and it's easily walkable, and it's just
next week.
I would love to be able to spend some time there.
Next week's the 1-year anniversary of Charleston, right? Weren't we all out there for Cinco de Mayo? Did we land on Cinco de Mayo?
No, wasn't it on
it was Mother's Day weekend. Hold on, I have the poster right there.
All of our moms were mad, probably.
Reference.
No, I went home. I didn't go to Pelham.
Oh well, dude, my mom doesn't need to see me anymore, like ever, probably. So it's good.
Oh, here we go. Greg Roberts. There we go. Thanks, Greg.
May 6th. Yeah, you should have a Goose podcast.
Yep. Shout out to Naughty Dolphin.
Stop by the Naughty Dolphin for some pizza on your way down to Westville, right by the Fairfield train station.
Yeah, Drew, Mother's Day is coming up 2 weeks, I think. I was not prepared either. But yeah, I'm not. What am I gonna do for my mom anyway? Just try to avoid her, spend an hour with her so I don't annoy her, and then leave. Just eat their food and go.
Bring some
I'm a great son.
Bring some Sunset Lake over.
Oh yeah,
this Mother's Day. Treat your mom to Sunset Lake. So Charleston,
my mom would love
Beyond
some Keef blunts. Yeah, Code Beyond, 20% off. Plus, we want to make sure people are using that code.
20%
so
off.
they know.
Your mom flowers for Mother's Day when you can get her Sunset Lake flower.
Mom wants Sunset Lake CBD.
Wow, we've really jumped the shark here.
Yeah, this is it, man. This is our waning years.
Should we go through these Phish set lists? No.
I think let's talk about the Goose shows this weekend. All right. I don't think
let's talk about that thing we're in the middle of talking about.
My internet's, I don't know. I shouldn't have used my 56K modem today, but
no, you shouldn't have.
So there's a distillery show, Firefly, exciting. Yep, I think there's still tickets.
Yes,
right? I think
still
they
tickets available for that.
Emailed the Earth today, and then Sweetwater.
No, Asheville.
Salvage Station.
Asheville. Yeah, Asheville.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Greg, you're the publicist. Oh, well, Craig's got brain fog, but I think
dude, I'm looking at pictures of Asheville right now. It looks sick.
Yeah, it's supposedly.
Let's talk about Asheville. Let's do it. So I do feel like Goose. Thank you, Kara. Kara, please feel free to set the agenda for the rest of the evening. So I do feel like
keeping us on track here.
I do feel like Asheville Goose owes Asheville some TLC because early on they hadn't. Early on, they hadn't been able to get to Asheville much, and they hadn't been able to get to Asheville much. A bunch of shows were canceled, and it just like the anticipation really built up over time. And so happy to see that they're getting back there. I mean, even the last show, I think in that area, the last show was Waynesville, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's probably the closest. Yeah. But like that's what attracted me, just like Charleston being a very cool city and having these really nice venues. Salvage Station is a venue that people seem to love, and just that they're now getting back to there. It was really something that was drawing me to go. I guess that show is sold out, Greg, that show, but
Waynesville was
no, Asheville. No, not Waynesville. Are we talking about Phish?
It's Dogs in the Pile tour. Yeah. All right, so I think Asheville sold out. Like I said, take anything I say today with a grain of salt. I don't know if anyone is doing a Goose collab brewery wise with stylized labels. I think the brewery that did it was Tribus, which is in Connecticut, in Milford. But there are a lot of really good breweries in Asheville.
Yeah, there are.
And if
there are a lot
if they want to do if they want to do a Great Beyond label, and sponsor us and give us some free beer, pairs well with CBD.
I'm sure after this live stream, people are going to be knocking on our door, calling us up.
If only I knew where the band was playing, we could have planned ahead. Saturday, the guys head to Atlanta, aka Hotlanta, spoken with a true Connecticut accent, for Sweetwater 420 Festival, which is going to be litty.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited. That's one of the harder lineups of like debating what stage do I go to. Like I have the pictures saved on my phone and just circles around basically every band.
It is a great lineup. Who are you gonna try to go? What's your plan of course of action right now?
Dude, Saturday, I mean, the Queen is Doomed set starts at noon, which I really want to catch. Then Neighbor is on it too at the small stage. Really want to catch Neighbor because I missed their late night set. The Dwellers are on right after them, but at the same time, Spafford is on the hazy stage. And then Humphreys starts, and then Goose. But like, I'm gonna have to miss it. Like Spafford, Humphreys, Dwellers. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I'm obviously not gonna miss any of Goose because it's my job now. And then Tab. So it's a long day. 11 hours straight of music, and I have to eat food. Yeah. Somewhere.
Common misconception.
Very true.
You don't have to, but I mean, it's a whole different experience when you don't. So,
and then even Sunday, like I really want to catch Nth Power, Jen Hartswick.
For sure.
I might have to miss J-Rad like altogether, which is like myself 3 years ago would be slapping me in the face right now.
It's just one of those things where sometimes you got to prioritize people you haven't seen or might not get to see.
Exactly. I missed that opportunity with Turquoise way too many times and didn't get to see them. But Snarky Puppy is playing on the second stage last, so that's
nice.
Cool. Been dying to see them for.
Have you seen them before?
No, they were supposed to do one of the Phish late night sets, canceled that. I think there was another show they canceled, but I've seen like a couple members like in their other projects, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them at a library in Mamaroneck, New York, the night before they won their first Grammy.
Wow.
Yeah, Mamaroneck Public Library. I got my dad and my sister tickets for Christmas, and my dad had like just taken trumpet lessons. It was just started trumpet lessons, like very, very elementary trumpet.
Oh, but he was down then.
I think he was disheartened.
Yeah.
I don't think it had the effect I intended it to. But it was super cool. Then Oysterhead too, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It depends how like I may not leave Snarky Puppy and just show up halfway through Oysterhead. Like I saw them at Peach last year, so you know it's not like they're playing a whole new set, crazy stuff. But I don't know, to catch that first tube again and remember it this time would be nice.
Yeah. You don't need to remember first tube. There's plenty of them.
Dude, a Stuart Copeland first tube it's something else.
I mean, I heard actually from that, if it was at that pizza that I heard it was a ripper. When they did that. Yeah. So that'll definitely, I mean, Sweetwater is just one of these festivals. It came out first and it was such a great lineup. And then all these other festivals came out with incredible lineups. Like High Sierra has an incredible lineup. Peach has an okay lineup this year. It's, it's okay. And then like what else? Sacred Rose. Sacred Rose has an incredible lineup. I've heard cool things about who might be at Resonance. But be on the lookout for those announcements. But yeah, there's a lot of so many great festivals coming up, man.
Yo, this Beale Street Festival in Memphis looks crazy. Like, like
Megan Thee Stallion and Smashing Pumpkins on the same
day. Yo, I mean, it's there, but there's so much music.
Yeah, no, a lot of music.
Modest Mouse, Weezer on the Terminix stage. Take me back.
Man, there's the baby's there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Shit. Oh my god, dude. This is such a funny line. Shaggy. Oh shit. Who the fuck were we fucking with about Shaggy the other day? I was like, with Jeff.
Yeah,
Shaggy. I haven't thought about Shaggy in a decade plus.
Shaggy comes up more often recently than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Too bad it's direct competition for Goose.
Oh man, I don't like that. But that Sunday looks good. I mean, Grace Potter's there. That's awesome. Yeah.
I would go see some Lil Wayne. Catch Indigo, Lil Wayne. Indigo's and Lil Wayne on the same day. You're doing something right.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff at this. This is this is the thing with the festivals Goose is attending this year, like Boston Calling and at Beale Street and See Her Now last year, where they're getting into these festivals that are more mainstream acts and more indie acts and, like Thing, right? Out in Portland later this summer, I believe. So like, yeah, a lot of, it's going to be interesting to see how they do with these festivals, what they play and what comes out of it, how the fan base maybe changes and who ends up taking a liking to Goose out of these kinds of pop mainstream indie festivals.
Yeah. I'm curious if they like curb any jamming, any long jams they would normally do for the sake of these audiences, like keeping it tighter to try and keep people more engaged who may, start walking out during longer jams. Like, I don't know. It's going to be cool to hear. And I think like the new album, I guess some of the songs from there, like maybe, playing them more like a studio track than, the live track we're used to hearing. It'll be cool to hear something different if they do that, or they just
joining them on Echo from a Rose on the fast version will be interesting. It's a lot of weird. They'd have to do Shaggy. Slow Tumble with the baby and Shaggy featuring the baby. Oh man. Well, they always too approach festival sets like we're just gonna play the hits in that sense. Like they're just gonna play the songs that a lot of people want to hear or maybe haven't heard live. I mean, I think these festivals there's gonna be a lot of people who haven't heard much of Goose live or otherwise. So it's gonna, they're gonna still kind of want to approach it like the way they've been approaching the last couple of years up until relatively recently, which is like, playing a lot of the songs that have gotten to them to this point and making sure that people get to hear them live before they really start changing up a lot of the rotation. So, but yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to hear. I think Goose is one of the bands that I've heard in my life that actually does play better festival sets that I tend to like. So yeah, I think there's going to be some good things for fans. I definitely have high hopes for Sweetwater. I think that's going to be a great festival set. There's going to be a lot of it's going to be more in their niche than Memphis, and Beale Street, where they could probably play, more of just Arcadia, Tumble, So Ready, some of that stuff that they've played a lot and still impress and still grab a lot of fans. Whereas Sweetwater, I think they'll probably have to go a little bit deper. And I think people want to hear those jams there for example. So,
yeah.
Dude, and it's just a straight 2-hour set too. Which is going to be nice that they're not confined to 45 minutes or an hour that they were in past.
Well, they will be on stage very late.
Sweetwater.
That's
Sweetwater.
Yeah, Sweetwater's 5:30 to 7:30. So
nice.
Maybe got a nice sunset going in the background on the hazy stage.
Sick. That's going to be great.
Oh, God. The hazel. Yeah, hazel just be. All right. I need
hazel be floating.
Hazel be floating.
It'll be hazy.
Yes. It'll be a hazy Sweetwater.
All right. I think Greg needs to go to bed.
I need to go to bed. Yeah.
Greg's got to recover.
Dude, congrats to the 3 people that made it through this whole thing.
Yeah, the 3 people that somehow survived this Phish run.
Who forgot they left their computer on and just walked away.
I love that. Thank those people for leaving the computer on. We need that.
Yep. Feel free to stream this. Turn the volume all the way down when you go to sleep. We appreciate every single listen.
Yeah, dude, that's the Corey Henry. Dude, that's what I saw Corey Henry at Blue Note. He's just released a new album. He's like, please just play it overnight on mute over and over. I was like, that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
So make that money, make that shmoney. The
Dripfield drops. We know what to do.
10,000th of a cent a play. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
So we have a studio episode coming next week and a live.
No, we're gonna do a live
studio only.
We're live only.
Oh shit.
We've got a live episode next week.
Yeah. So what's happening is Greg's going away, and we can't record
anywhere.
Yeah, we might not be.
Well, yeah, that's true. We can't record a studio episode after hearing all these 4 shows, so we're just gonna do a live episode so we can recap them in real time and not just recap them 2 weeks after they happen or something.
Back to our normal recap format.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll do a live.
Groundbreaking as today.
We'll do a live episode on Tuesday. Then the following week, we'll do recorded episode Wednesday, and then another recorded episode after that.
All right,
that's what's good. You hear that, Bruce? You hear that, Craig?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'll text you the day before to remind you.
Definitely. We'll forget.
What they play this weekend? All right, cool. So then we'll see all of you next week. We're going to have some cool, fun giveaways, 3 healthy guests. And a
much more structured episode.
And a much more structured episode.
All right. Well, thank you all for hanging with us tonight. And then we'll catch you soon. Later.
Soon. Very
soon. The Great
soon.
Beyond was recorded. Nah.
Only I have the power to end the broadcast. Or do we all?
Yeah, no, we only have a minute and a half till we hit an hour even.
I can leave the studio.
Okay, let's do it. Later, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Down the pathway to the great beyond.
Osiris.